watching KWQC TV, making a difference in the Quad Cities. Live from the Quad Cities, with Morgan Otier and Kyle Keel, this is Quad Cities Live.
Today on QCL, if you're not quite finished with your holiday shopping, take a trip to Rooted Boutique. We'll take a look at everything at this shop in Fulton, Illinois and what they have to offer. Plus, connecting our community over the holidays through art. We'll learn more about current exhibitions on display at the Figge Art Museum. And later, back by popular demand, the Black Box Theater will present All Is Calm, the extraordinary story of the Christmas Eve truce in World War I. We'll get all the details. You're watching Quad Cities Live on this Thursday, December 12th. Thank you so much for joining us. I'm Morgan Otier. Well, there's a small business located in the village of East Davenport that is using this holiday season to celebrate and say thank you to its customers. That business is the Coffee House located on Jersey Ridge Road. And joining us from the Coffee House is Tom Taylor. Tom, welcome back.
Thank you, Morgan, for having us again.
Yes, thank you so much for being here today. Okay, so describe the Coffee House for us and what makes it so special.
Really? Okay, describe the Coffee House in a few words. Whereas most coffee shops this day and age want to go like fast paced, like get out the door, drive through, that's it. We want to give a place for you to stay and feel like you're at home. So comfort is the biggest word there, customer service, and yeah, it's a coffee shop where you can come and hang out and just have a good time.
Well, yeah, and we're looking at some different photos of the inside of the coffee house.
Isn't it beautiful?
It is.
Don't you just want to hang out there?
Yes, it's an absolutely beautiful space, and people do. They do hang out there. And so when you talk about kind of eliminating that idea of having to be completely fast-paced, people have caught on. Yeah. And you put the Coffee House, I mean, it was your post, I'm assuming, something really nice, I believe it was yesterday, essentially just saying thank you to everybody for such a wonderful year.
Yeah.
And it's true. I mean, summer or winter, the Coffee House is always just busy with folks, just enjoying the space there.
Yeah, it's been our best year yet, year number 4 for us, and
wow,
to continue to grow after 4 years is a big deal for any small business. So we just want to find a way to say thank you and celebrate with everybody.
Absolutely. Yeah. Okay, so you brought us some treats here today. These are your flights. So the Coffee House is notorious for their flights. You guys always have really like unique ones, cool different themes and things like that. So tell us about these. These are holiday themed.
Yeah, the last couple years we've done like naughty and nice flights, but this year we were like, okay, let's do one based off all the reindeer. So we have a chai flight. And we have a latte flight named after the 8 like core reindeer.
The core reindeer.
The core reindeer, the ones that people should know. Can you name all 8?
No, I'm gonna have to.
You can't look.
I'm gonna read it off the little
and then
sign.
we also have one based off of Rudolph that's separate from the flights. But yeah, we have some reindeer flights here.
Okay, great. So talk a little bit about them because I have the chai in front of me right now. They all look pretty similar, but they're all going to have kind of something different about them.
Yeah, like deep down, like chais and latte flights, they're going to be a base of the sweeteners that we choose, and either espresso for the lattes or chais for the chai lattes, and then you know, milk, and these are iced ones here.
You know I like my iced coffee.
I know you do.
Even in the middle of winter.
In the middle of, see, I'm the opposite. When it's like 150 degrees, I'll still get something hot.
Yeah.
But you know, to each their own.
Right.
So yeah, similar in recipes and ratios and tradition, but everyone has their own little like splash of personality.
Yeah. Well, I can try them, correct? Because I just did. So hopefully that is okay.
Yeah, we're past that point.
We're past that point. We've crossed the line. So I just tried Dasher, and then we have Dancer here.
Yeah.
So
the Dancer is our berry cobbler chai, which leans a little bit into blueberry.
Wow, it really does.
A little hint of strawberry and some vanilla that kind of like wash those together. I would say try the Vixen too. It's a gingerbread chai.
Oh, that sounds great.
And that's a big one come December. So the chai flight's been really popular. We don't do a lot of chai flights, but I
always get a chai when I'm there. I was so happy that you decided to do one. I think they're delightful. And these are all the latte ones.
These are all the lattes.
Okay. Which one should I test out?
I'm gonna say try. Are you a peppermint fan?
I can be.
For
Over the holidays.
For the sake of this.
Certainly.
Peppermint. This is a peppermint marshmallow latte, so I would try that one.
Okay.
I'm going to do the Donner. It's a white mocha, hazelnut, and maple
That sounds really good.
latte. So do you want to trade?
This is great. This one is a peppermint. It's not overpowering at all.
No, good. We try to like balance everything else.
Yeah,
really nicely,
you do that one.
Okay, all right, if you say so.
Wonderful. Okay, and while we're just like sipping on lattes and chais here, you guys are hosting a really great kind of a customer appreciation event, a holiday party called Sweaters and Sounds. Now that's coming up this weekend.
Sweaters.
You got the perfect Christmas sweater on today.
I do. Thank you for saying so, Morgan. We wanted to have a holiday party first and foremost. So we have live music, Jay Wolfskill and Wolfskill in the Wild.
Yes.
They'll be doing like kind of a folk.
There they are.
acoustic.
They've been on our show, actually.
Have they really?
And they've performed on our show.
Were they charming?
They are so charming, and they are so talented.
And they're in love with each other,
Yeah,
which is
it's
pretty
very
sweet too,
sweet,
right?
yes.
Which helps for the holidays. So yeah, they'll be doing live holiday music. There's an ugly sweater contest that's not required, but if you want to get down on that, you can.
Okay.
But more than anything, we wanted to find a way to say thank you to everybody.
Yeah.
And this is our chance to do so, I guess. So yeah, so thank you to you for having us here.
Oh, yeah.
Big thank you to all the people that have made it a good year for the coffee house.
Well, absolutely. You guys are seriously such a favorite stop for a lot of people. I hear it all the time when people are asking about what coffee shop should I try, and
you tell them us,
well,
right?
absolutely, but so do a lot of other people.
Good,
so you know, I think that's great. It is a really great space, a welcoming space. So as far as the party is concerned, the holiday party, do people need to buy tickets to it, register for it, anything?
No, they just need to show up and be ready to have a good time. You know, the party's from this Sunday from 5:30 to 8:30 with the music starting at 6 o'clock.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's it. Just show up and be in good spirits.
So we have to address the green drink in front of us here. So it's a matcha type of drink, correct?
It is, yeah.
Okay, explain what that is.
Yeah, so a matcha is like similar to a latte or a chai latte, but it's based in a green tea instead of either chai or espresso.
Okay.
This is the Mrs. Claus. I felt like Kris Kringle gets enough attention that, you know, Mrs. Claus should get a little bit here.
We love that.
So that is maple almond matcha.
Oh, wow.
Leaning a little bit heavy into the maple, but almond is always kind of like a secondary flavor.
Yeah.
That kind of adds like a little hint of something to it.
Yeah, it's very, very good. And I think like matcha is not necessarily for everyone. You have to kind of know that's what you like. And I like a matcha, but there's something about, I don't know, like it's something like distinct, like a distinct flavor that I really like about it. But I think that anybody would want to try this because it's a little bit offset with some of those flavors, like the maple. It really like tones it down. Oh, nice. So I think it's a good starter matcha if somebody's like looking to try that. Yeah, very cool. Well, thank you so much.
Thank you.
And the Sweaters and Sounds Appreciation Celebration is happening this Sunday. It's from 6 to 8:30 p.m. at the Coffee House. You don't get a lot of opportunities to spend the evenings at the Coffee House. If you want to learn more about the Coffee House, follow the business on Facebook or visit the website, thecoffeehouseqc.com. As always, Tom, thank you so much for joining us on the show and all your hard work. Really appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you. And still to come on QCL, Rooted Boutique, from women's clothing and accessories to a collection just for babies. We'll get an up-close look after the break.
You're watching Quad Cities Live.
There is a boutique located in Fulton, Illinois, and it got its start during a very difficult time, actually, the COVID-19 pandemic. Yes, back in 2020. Joining me right now is Jackie Wilkin, the owner of Rooted Boutique. Jackie, thank you so much for being here today.
I'm thrilled to be here.
We're
Thanks
happy to have you in studio. You were just telling me you got to be on Paula Sands Live, but it was during that whole entire time during COVID when we didn't do anything in person.
Yes.
So yeah, kind of take us back to starting the business and then all of that happening at the same time.
Okay, so yeah, I decided back in January 2020
Yeah.
that I was going to start a boutique, and in February, everything kind of came crumbling down.
Absolutely.
So my sister-in-law and I actually started out of my basement, and we did Facebook Lives, and we sold
Wow.
online strictly for the first 8 months, and then we were able to open our brick and mortar store in August 2020.
Wow.
And I think it was that fall that we did a Paula Sands show, and
Yeah.
they just zoomed the call in. So coming here is the first time for me.
Well, we're so happy to have you here. The boutique looks incredibly beautiful, what you've done with it, and congratulations too.
Thank you.
Because it would be 4 years now that
Yes.
you've been there.
Yep, we do a big birthday celebration every August to celebrate every year that we've been in business. So
Yeah, that's wonderful. Okay, so you guys are also really great with your social media as well. Does it take you back to those times when really the only thing we had to rely on to communicate, like if you had customers, was social media? Because you are really on top of it.
yeah, so I got to give all the props to my sister-in-law, Kayla Wilkin. She couldn't come today. She stayed back
Yeah.
to man the store, but she does the social media, and she does an amazing job of it. You know, we'll get together every day and kind of talk about what we want to do, and she takes notes, and then she,
Yeah.
you know, goes and executes it. And I
great.
just, you know, she kind of does back of the house as far as keeping the website, social media up to date.
Which is so important.
Absolutely. You know, my biggest advice to anyone that's like starting a business, if they ask me, is like, you can't just put an open sign in the door anymore. You
No.
have to be active online, social media. Even if people aren't engaging, they're watching.
They're watching, they're
Mm-hmm.
reading, they're watching. Absolutely. Okay, well, you did such a beautiful job setting up some really cool stuff from the shop for us here today.
Yeah.
So where should we start? I've already been on your website looking at the cutest bags that you carry.
Yes. So that is actually our Katie Loxton line. And Katie Loxton is actually a designer from Europe.
Okay.
And she was a stay-at-home mom, and she wanted to create products that were designer,
Yes.
you know, with the
Like
designer
level,
look.
yeah.
Yes, but a fraction of the cost. So these bags, we're so happy to be able to carry them in store. The price range can be anywhere from, you know, $50 to $80, but they're very reminiscent
They're
of like
so
a Michael
cute.
Kors purse.
Well, I
Yeah.
love them because you can change the straps on it.
And that bag actually comes with 2 straps. There's
Awesome.
a leather strap in the bag.
Okay.
And then I did bring a standalone strap there too, so we have a display of just straps.
That's cute. Wow.
That all different colors and patterns to coordinate with whatever bag you might already have,
Yeah.
or with another.
You
Katie
have
Loxton
all
bag.
kinds of accessories in the shop as well. This is a beautiful hat. These CC hats, I love these
Yes.
so much.
Cece has been flying out of the store. The
I
weather
bet.
finally turned, and so everyone's like, I need
Everyone
hats
needs a
and
hat.
gloves.
Everyone needs a hat today. And I like that we have this all set up here because we are just a little under 2 weeks until Christmas, but people are still doing their holiday shopping. You've got some really great items in here that would be great as gifts or stocking stuffers as well.
And so one fun thing that we did this year was we launched a stocking stuffer bar. So at the back
Oh.
of the store, we
That
have
is
set up
cute.
a bunch of cute little gifty knick-knack items like these. The young girls, tweens, teens go crazy in
I
there.
bet.
I have 2 young daughters, 12 and 15.
Oh, my
and
goodness.
so I know exactly what is on their radar, and I made sure we had those things stocked on the stocking
Yeah, you have
stuffer bar.
in-house research.
Yes,
going on.
absolutely. I just take them shopping and watch them. And I'm like,
Yeah.
okay, that's what I
this
need.
is what they like. Yes. And then you have a whole baby collection, which I love. Why did you
Yes.
decide to include that?
You know, my sister-in-law was pregnant. Actually, she had just had twins.
Oh, wow.
And she used copper pearl for the
Okay.
babies. And if you feel it, it's super soft.
Oh,
it's
yeah.
a bamboo fabric.
Yeah, that's a high
So
quality
it's-
fabric.
Yes, so it's soft and it's breathable. So it's great. It keeps them warm, but it
Yes.
also breathes in the warmer months to keep them cool.
Yeah.
And then they just have the most fun, gorgeous patterns. This one's milk and cookies.
That is
and
so cute.
that's like just a fun little neutral favorite.
I love the bandana bibs.
Yep.
I remember getting these 6 years ago. Yeah.
Yes, and I brought like a little gown. These are like a #1 seller for us in the store.
This is so cute.
So you can accessorize the gown with the hat
Oh.
and or a bow.
I love this.
But we don't have clothing, but this gown would be like the one piece, and it's meant for newborns.
Yeah.
And then we have the swaddle blankets, and we have sleep sacks, and then the bibs and the burp rags
Wow.
And so we kind of say baby accessories because we don't want people to think that we have children's clothing necessarily.
But once again though, it does
yes.
it speaks to the ability to go into your shop and be able to buy gifts for people.
It's funny too when women walk in and they see it's right in the first display and they're like, it's so cute, I want to buy it. Who's having a baby? Who's having a baby?
That's what I'm thinking when I'm looking at all this stuff. Who can I give this to? And then you have the warmies, which we absolutely love.
Yes.
So these have just like a ton of weight to them because they're filled with like those like beads or something.
Lavender beads.
Lavender beads. They smell amazing and you can heat them up.
Yes. Yes. So you're familiar. So these are a huge, you know, a great gift giving idea.
Yes.
And all ages. Like, don't just think that these are for like little kids. My 12-year-old, she's like, I can't sleep with that without it. You know. And I have college kids that are home on the weekend and they'll come in and they'll be like, I want to take this back to school with me. You know.
Yes.
So they're great
gifts.
gifts.
They're adorable and they're super soft. And of course. We can't run out of time before we talk about all the clothing that you carry, which is really how everything got started in the first place.
And this is our bread and butter. I mean, this is mostly what people come to us for, is for our clothing. So I did bring a few pieces from our holiday line.
So cute.
We have, you know, the dressier pieces, and then we also have like more casual pieces.
And then athleisure, which
we do have athleisure.
We're all about.
I gotta show this one off. So we always have a display of graphics. So this was kind of a fun one. The 1st of November, we had a bunch of fun.
I love
they kind of ran out of the store quickly.
Oh, I bet.
Of course, you want to wear your holiday gear.
You gotta wear it
right away.
It's fun to find that unique item too.
But
you know?
yes, feel this. So this is our recreation line. Number one product.
Super like lightweight. It's a good weight to it.
Yes, it's like silky but breathable and just so comfortable. So this fabric runs out of the store.
Okay.
I actually have brought you a set because sets have kind of been all the rage this season.
Are. And
this is actually a really
soft one.
Pretty emerald green. This one's a jacket and pant, but it's that same super soft material.
Yeah.
And people just love this stuff. So
oh yeah, absolutely. Well, oh my gosh, thank you so much for bringing all of these items for people to see. I think it's really good because they can see that you have the dressy and you have the casual.
We do.
And we have the store hours right now on the screen. The only day that you guys appear to take off is a Monday. You guys are open every other day.
Yes, we are. We're open Tuesday through Sunday. And actually this week and next week we're open late on Thursdays till 7 p.m. to kind of help people out with their holiday
shopping finished. Yeah, very cool. And here's all the information for everybody. That's the address. It's located on 4th Street in downtown Fulton, Illinois. You can get those updates on any new arrivals just by following along on Facebook and Instagram. And you can order anytime online, as Jackie mentioned. They run a website. It is therootedboutique.com. Jackie, thank you. I'm so glad that you could finally make it into the studio.
Yeah,
it was such a pleasure meeting you. Yes, thank you so much. Well, still to come today on Quad Cities Live, connect with loved ones this holiday season through art. The Figge Art Museum will join us with a look at exhibitions underway right now.
You're watching Quad Cities Live.
The holiday season is all about bringing people together, and that also happens to be the mission of the Figge Art Museum. Joining us from the Figge is Senior Co-Curator Joshua Johnson. Joshua, welcome back.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you for being here. Lots of really good stuff to talk about today because we're going to be talking about the current exhibitions on view at the Figge Art Museum. So talk a little bit about what makes these exhibitions unique or particularly exciting.
So they're exciting because there's such a variety of things to see right now. You know, if you're interested in technology and art and kind of spectacle and also just kind of a soothing atmosphere, you can go visit the Leo Villarreal Interstellar exhibition. If you're interested in kind of the impact of memory loss or dementia, you can visit the Louise Camus exhibition. I don't see anything that's not beautiful. Okay. Or if you're interested in kind of 1960s mid-century art, you can visit the John Deere collection. There's just so many different options for people. So I think people would be hard pressed to visit and not find something that they enjoy.
Yeah. Well, we're looking at the Leo Villarreal images from that exhibition right now. So kind of describe what this is. I know we probably had you guys on a couple of months ago and we were previewing it. This is a really cool thing to have at the Figge.
It's an amazing exhibition to have, and we've found that there's been such a wonderful response to it. So it's kind of a new foray for us. This is an artist who is working with generative code. So he is sitting at a computer and programming or setting a list of instructions of what is supposed to happen on these LED arrays that are behind these plexiglass shields. And so in theory, the different patterns that are being made on these different nebula works are going to appear in a random order. So in theory, they're not going to repeat themselves.
Wow.
So each viewing experience, yes, there'll be some kind of repeated imagery, but it'll never show in the exact same way.
Wow, that's cool.
It's amazing, and he is an artist that we are going to be featuring even more because he is going to be enveloping the entire museum in the Evanescent Field project. So for people who don't know, that's going to be a lighting project that'll be shown all across the glass at the Figge's facade.
Yes, that's exciting.
Oh, we're thrilled, and so that'll be unveiled sometime in this coming year. So keep your eyes peeled for that when that happens.
Yeah, everyone is really looking forward to that. And you spoke of the John Deere Gallery. So that's the mid-century.
Yeah. So you know, John Deere has a wonderful art collection, and they started the collection in 1965.
Wow.
And at that time, you know, and they still are a huge international company, and so their collection really represents this kind of international art world. And so we've been in partnership with them to select a handful of works from their collection to kind of change out throughout the next couple of years in this loan program with them to take the artwork out of the kind of corporate headquarters and expose it to more of the Quad Cities community.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
because I think, you know, not very many people get to go visit John Deere headquarters on a regular basis. So it's cool. It's an opportunity to see all of this when you may not get it. The College Invitational, so talk about that exhibition. That's something that you do every year?
It is something we do every year. So the College Invitational, we invite 8 local colleges and universities. We ask their art professors to select students to be exhibited.
Wow.
And so they kind of select the cream of the crop of their students, or like an impressive array of what their students are doing. And it's a really great chance for these students to, you know, probably have their first museum exhibition and being able to add that to their resume. And we've also really loved kind of the pride we get to see as these students come in to see their artwork on view.
That's got to be really cool. To have your artwork up in the Figge Art Museum would be an incredible feeling.
Yeah, and it's also great too to kind of introduce this community too, to see what the next generation of artists are doing. And so, you know, this may be their first exhibition at the Figge, but it may not be their last.
Absolutely, yeah, that is very cool. Okay, this one really piqued my interest. I don't see anything that's not beautiful.
Yeah.
So this is dementia related, Alzheimer's related?
Yes, so Louise Camus is a Dubuque artist. She actually teaches at Clark University there. And so the primary series that you're seeing on the screen now is from her working with a nun at the local convent there, who is leaving these piles of sticks throughout her daily walks throughout the convent grounds. And she was in the early stages of dementia when she started leaving these sticks. Camus noticed these piles being left around and started to document them through these beautiful charcoal and pastel drawings.
Wow.
And as you can see, they kind of fade in and out of view as you kind of progress throughout the exhibition.
Yes.
And it's this idea, this sister was leaving these piles there as a way of beautifying the grounds, but also kind of marking her path so that she could find it again. So it's this finding beauty in loss and change, and also just a kind of a celebration of finding beauty in places you wouldn't necessarily expect it.
What a story behind that.
It's a great exhibition. And she's working through so many different mediums too. She's printing on silk, she's printing on prayer pages that the sister had used.
Wow.
These charcoal and pastel drawings, these woodblock prints.
That's incredible.
Yeah.
Very cool.
There's so much wonderful imagery in this to explore.
Absolutely. Okay, so I want to talk more about what role you feel like exhibitions, these or otherwise, have in kind of connecting the community, especially during the holidays.
Yeah. Well, you know, we always talk about the holidays as a time of being connected to people, whether it be family or friends. And I find that when people visit the museum, it prompts these conversations, right? Whether that's a conversation about memory loss and dementia, whether it's a conversation about, you know, their own artwork on the wall in the College Invitational, it sparks conversations that might not otherwise be had. And it's a great way to just kind of spend an afternoon with your family and friends talking about artwork and kind of taking a deeper dive into these images.
Yeah, that is the perfect way to spend that time, especially if you have people that are going to be spending some time time in town that haven't been for a while.
Yeah.
It's kind of a really cool thing to do together. I have to ask you, do you have a favorite artwork or exhibition that you feel is really a must-see?
Well, I want to highlight some of the recent acquisitions to the collection and things that we've recently put on view. So we have Cristina Cordova's Ava XV. This is a life-size, you're seeing it now, ceramic sculpture of the artist's daughter. So this is made of unglazed earthenware clay that she's actually burnished with different soil from the island of Puerto Rico, where she's from. And so it's this connection between the island and her daughter, this kind of direct connection of like, this is where my daughter is coming from.
Wow.
And it's also just a beautiful portrait of her daughter that she's done throughout her life.
Wow, yeah, that is really cool. So they can find that at the Figge?
Yeah, that's on view right now in our Spanish Viceregal Gallery.
Wow.
Our Spanish Colonial Gallery. And there's a handful of other, you were seeing some other great recent acquisitions too that are from the Lewis collection.
Yep.
Was of course that fantastic gift that recently came in, and we've been lucky enough to get a handful of those on view as well.
Yeah.
And it's great to showcase.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, well, we've got the website there on your screen, FiggeArtMuseum.org. This is really a great place for people to keep an eye on not only exhibitions that are there at the Figge right now, but you all do a very good job of putting exhibitions that are upcoming and on the way. So kind of, you know, getting people excited for what could be coming down the road in the next couple of months. So that's a good place for you to get your information. Again, FiggeArtMuseum.org. Joshua, thank you so much for being on the show today and talking all about those different exhibitions.
It's always a pleasure to be here.
Absolutely. Well, still to come in our next half hour, our financial moment with Heidi Hughes Camp Collins, who has valuable information about Social Security, especially for those about to retire or who are retired. And later, a preview of performances of All Is Calm, backed by popular demand and set to begin tomorrow at the Black Box Theater. And it is a first alert day until 6 p.m. for bitter cold and snow. Chief Meteorologist Eric Maitland will join us with more on that and the potential for freezing rain in our future.
And now your first alert forecast with Chief Meteorologist Eric Maitland.
Well, we had a double-edged first alert day going into today. One was for the morning wind chills. We're all done with those, but they will be back tomorrow. Those wind chills that were as cold as -15 to -20. And the second part of our first alert day for today was this right here, the snow falling south of I-80 that was heavy enough to really kind of mess up a little bit of those roadways down there. Completely covered roads now in west central Illinois and some partially covered roads in southeast Iowa. And that's because of the band of snow that's been moving through those areas during much of the day. As we go through the next 24 hours, once again, another cold start to the morning tomorrow. Wind chills not as extreme, but they'll be between 0 and -10. So we have a first alert day just for tomorrow morning, and then things get a little bit more interesting, more dicey, if you will, as we get into Saturday. So this first alert day for today, snow zone down to the south of I-80. We'll keep that through rush hour because, again, the roads will still be a little bit slick in those areas. And then for tomorrow morning, really from midnight tonight till 10 a.m., very cold morning wind chills again. But this time, just about 0 to -10, not as extreme as this morning. And then we get into Saturday morning, and because of the timing of this system has changed a little bit, we've erased the first alert day for late Friday. We're starting it at 1 in the morning on Saturday. So if you are out Friday night, this could be an issue towards southeast Iowa and areas along the Mississippi River, because that's where the freezing rain will be moving in from, and areas north end or west of the Metro Quad cities. We've got that overnight freezing rain into the morning Saturday. Ice accumulations could be 1 to 2 tenths, maybe 1/4 of an inch, and that's certainly enough to cause problems. National Weather Service is on it now with a winter weather advisory, midnight Saturday till 9 a.m. So just about the same timing. They have different areas than we do, so we're going to extend it just a little bit. There is the snow that's finally starting to move out of our southern counties, and as we look toward the overnight hours, we'll actually try to get a little bit of clearing, but still a few clouds to go. And then here's a system that'll come in for the weekend. That's the one that will be responsible for the freezing rain. Now for tomorrow morning, here's a look at those wind chills, as you can see, between about 0 and -10. And as we take a look at how things will fare for tonight, we'll get into some clear skies. And as we go through the day Friday, we'll cloud things up. And again, late Friday night into Saturday morning, that'll be an opportunity to get some freezing rain, which we'll have to be very careful with as we're making our way out and about during during those hours of the early weekend.
Yeah, Eric, I feel like, the first few snows can be a little bit tricky, even for myself. But whenever I hear freezing rain or ice accumulations, that just completely, I want to stay off the roads when I hear that.
Yeah, that's great advice, because as good as a driver is, you might be on snow. Ice, unfortunately, is the great even outer, and that can get anybody in the ditch.
So it's that time of year.
Yep.
All right, thank you. Coming up, our financial moment with Heidi. Learn more about the mistakes people make when it comes to Social Security and how to avoid those mistakes. Next.
You're watching Quad Cities Live.
Well, most people who are claiming Social Security are doing it too early, and that could lead to major losses in potential income. So why is it happening? Joining me now is our financial contributor, Heidi Hughes Camp Collins. Heidi, welcome back.
Good to be here.
Yes, love the topic today because I didn't realize how many people this truly does affect. Retirees are losing a lot of money.
Yes, in fact, Horse's Mouth, they're a financial publication, and they do a lot of a big deep dive into Social Security. And I've been taking a 16-week seminar this week on Social Security.
Okay.
And according to them, $3.4 trillion is lost in potential income to retirees by not taking it at the right time.
Oh my goodness.
I mean, that's a
trillion.
lot of money with a T.
With a T, trillion with a T. Okay, but going along with that, these folks, I mean, they're not alone. Actually, most of us are not making the right decision.
No, I mean, most of us, so only 4% of retirees are making the optimal decision of when to take Social Security.
That's wild to me.
And when I say optimal, I mean looking at when you're going to get the most dollars paid by the government over your lifetime.
That's crazy. 4%.
4%. What most people are doing is they're claiming as early as possible and then just hoping for the best.
Wow.
And that's not, I mean, there's all kinds of really complex rules and strategies.
Okay.
And nobody knows them.
Okay, well, so why is this happening? You have some different reasons. The first one being that it's my money, in quotes.
This is really popular. I hear this all the time. People will say, I've been paying in for years. That's my money. They've got my money. I want my money when I want it. I want it now.
Sure.
And so this leads to people claiming at age 62, which is the earliest retirement age that you can pull it at.
Okay.
And it's not always the best decision.
No, because you're not getting the most out of it.
No, you lock in permanent benefits that are going to be as low as possible.
Okay. Fear of dying is another reason.
People will say to me, I could get hit by a bus tomorrow. I'm 62 years old. I've worked, my whole life. I could get hit by a bus tomorrow, or I could not wake up tomorrow because I had a heart attack, and I want to get as much as I can, And so, give me as much money as I can. So they decided to make, the decision to start claiming.
I mean, I guess I could sort of understand that reasoning, but I mean, anybody could use. Yeah, okay. Fear that benefits will be cut is another one.
Yeah, there's a lot of fear out there. People are reading, in a lot of publications that the trust fund for Social Security, where your tax dollars go, is going to run out of funds in 2034.
Okay.
And benefits are going to start being cut.
Okay.
I don't, I've read about this a lot. I've thought about this and studied this. I think it's more likely that there'll be tweaks, and changes.
Right.
President Trump, the incoming administration, has said he won't touch Social Security.
Right.
But there are a lot of tweaks we could make. Higher income folks could have to, there are things to be done.
There are options. There's a variety of things.
There are a lot of options.
Yeah, so don't let that fear necessarily rule you when it comes to this. Another one, employees or workers, they don't know all the rules when it comes to Social Security.
No, kind of like I said, there are all kinds of things. You know, now I understand people will say to me, well, I don't have any other savings. I have to take Social Security.
Sure.
That's not always true. I mean, there are different strategies. If you've been married, this goes for a man or a woman. If you've been married and divorced, or you're widowed, you can claim a benefit off of your ex-spouse or your spouse that passed before you earlier, and then let your own benefit increase and take that later.
Wow.
There's all kinds of different really smart strategies you can use. You know, and this is the last time I'll be on the show in 2024, but in 2025, we're going to really jump into a lot of these different strategies. It's going to be fun.
Well, yeah, looking forward to it. And the very last point on there, and I think it just kind of speaks for itself, Social Security Administration cannot offer advice.
So here's the thing.
That's why we call you.
Well, most people don't realize this, but Social Security Administration folks are not even trained on the strategies that I'm talking about.
Interesting.
They don't know them. They will help you fill out the form to start taking benefits.
Right.
But they don't know, oh, how many years did you have to be married to someone and before you were divorced before you can take a benefit from them? And how long did you have to be married before you're widowed? And when can you do this? And when can you claim your own benefit? They don't know that.
Yeah, because they're not required to be studied in the ins and outs and things like that.
No,
so, yeah, that makes
they're
sense.
government employees. But even, I mean, they're great folks. Don't get me wrong, but they don't have that knowledge.
Right.
And even if they do have some of that knowledge, they are prohibited from steering people in one direction or another.
Right. Okay. Wow. Good information there. And if you want to learn more about this specific topic or really any of the services that Heidi offers, just visit her website. It is hhcinvestments.net. You saw it there at the bottom of your screen. And if you're curious about any of our previous segments with Heidi, just visit kwqc.com and click the tab at the top for Quad Cities Live. Heidi, happy holidays.
To you as well,
yes,
Morgan.
and I will see you in 2025.
Okay, sounds good.
Awesome. Okay, well, up next on QCL, a show that was so popular when it hit the stage in 2022, the Black Box Theater is bringing it back. Learn more about what makes it so special after the break. Coming up tomorrow on QCL, Dancing with the QC Stars. They're going to join us with a preview of the competition coming up this weekend. Plus, the Landing Ice Rink in Bettendorf is set to open to the public this Sunday, and we're getting a live preview of all the exciting new amenities. That and much more on the next QCL. All is Calm, the Christmas Truce of 1914. It is a remarkable true story about a truce between Allied and German soldiers during World War I when they put down their weapons and celebrated Christmas together. And that story is coming to the stage at the Black Box Theater in Moline. Very exciting. And joining us with a little preview is a guest singer from the show, Larry Adams. Larry, thanks for being here today.
Well, thank you for having me.
Yes, we're excited to talk with you. I know I'm excited to talk with you. You have an extensive and very accomplished background in theater, a very cool career, I must say. So tell us a little bit about yourself and some of the different projects and shows that you've been involved in the past.
Well, I mean, as you say, it's been a long career. I've done quite a few things over that time. I've performed in Broadway shows and national tours, but basically the last 20 years of my career were spent in Chicago, where I was doing theater there. It's my hometown.
That's great.
And when I got off the road, I thought, well, you know, I just want to stay in one place. I want to, you know, be in my home, and I stayed there and had a career in Chicago doing a variety of things. So.
That's amazing. Yeah, there are so many beautiful spaces in Chicago, theater spaces. What a great place to call home, especially if you're interested in and working in theater. So you've come out of retirement. We were just speaking about that to do this show that is premiering, I believe, tomorrow night. It's called All is Calm. So tell us a little bit about it.
Well, as you were saying before, it's about the Christmas truce in 1914 during World War I. The German army and the British army laid down their arms and met in no man's land and basically greeted each other, exchanged gifts. They sang Christmas carols together, showed photos of their families, did, you know, just they wanted to be human.
It's hard to believe, I mean, that this is, you know, really based on true events, and I can't believe that I haven't really heard much about it before, and it's very in demand, this show. Actually, this show was put on, you weren't a part of it then, just a couple of years ago, and it's being brought back because so many people want to see it, especially during the holidays.
It's done all over the country. It started up in Minneapolis with a theater company called Theater Latte Da. And what's really exceptional about the show, I think, is that it brings the humanity of all these characters. These speeches that are given are actual words from the soldiers that went through this this battle and this cessation of fighting. And it's 10 men in the cast. And what's interesting is the music is, there are Christmas carols, there are what they call Tommy songs, which are fighting songs, and there's German songs, you know, Deutschland über alles. There's, the arrangements are beautiful of them. There's an arrangement of Silent Night that is really, really stunning. I love singing it.
And they're all a cappella.
All a cappella. There's no instrumental accompaniment.
That is great. Now, before we run out of time with you today, I want you to tell people a little bit about the Black Box Theater. This is a very intimate space to see a performance, to see a show, which is great, especially with a show like this.
Yes, absolutely. Well, my sister co-founded this theater, and I don't know how many years ago. It could be about 9 almost, and it's a great space. I've seen quite a few things there.
We have photos of it on the screen too, for anybody that's curious.
It's just great, and it really brings you into whatever show you're seeing. You know, that kind of intimacy. As we were talking about the other day, I mean, you have to be very active as an actor because it's almost like film in a way, because they could see every little nuance in your face. So that has to be projected when you're, you know,
it's huge. It's huge for an actor, absolutely, to perform in a space like this. Well, performances of All Is Calm, they are set for December 13th through the 15th, and then the 19th through the 21st at 7:30 p.m. There is one 2 p.m. matinee on Sunday, December 22nd. Tickets are $16. You can purchase yours by heading to the blackboxtheater.com. Larry, thank you so much for joining us on the show today. It's a pleasure to meet you. Yes, thank you. And thank you so much for watching. Your local news at 4 is up next.